It's all about truth. All of it. Every single thing. All boils down to the truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free. All right, welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. I'm your host, Dan Dix. This is PFT Live. We're going to be taking some questions today from the audience. We got a lot to talk about. Let me make sure that we got some people tuning in. Make sure you guys can hear me okay. Get some of your comments in and questions, and we'll be sure to answer them. And please share this link. Bear with me for 1 sec. I'm going to share this out on Facebook and Twitter right now. Let people know that we are, in fact, live. Going to be taking questions for the next little while here. And hopefully my stream is okay. Let me know if I'm coming through okay or if it's kind of being a little bit choppy. All right, it says we got 36 people tuned in so far. That's not too bad. Not seeing any comments or questions in the chat. So that's going to be crucial for today's stream, guys. So let me know if you are able to comment, and if you aren't for some reason, I'm going to have to go ahead and figure that out. Looks like it's a little bit of a low quality output, but if it's streaming too bad, I mean, if it's buffering, constantly buffering, we may have to just call it. Sometimes where I live, it depends on the time of day, based on when I go live, if it's going to be a good feed or not. So it's tough to say, but there's a lot of interesting things we can talk about in today's broadcast, guys. Obviously, we have the coronavirus going around. We now have a confirmed case, allegedly, of someone here in British Columbia with the virus. So that's interesting. We also have, not too long ago, there was the case of that Jonathan Yaniv guy, you may recall. He goes by Jessica now, who was recently arrested. I haven't really talked about that much on this channel yet, but that's happening. Okay, let's try to turn on live chat. Maybe that's, oh, there we go. I had it turned off. Okay. Hello. What is that? Monster Auto Records. The Free Captives. Hello. Jose, Edge of the South, Sandy. Hello, hello, hello. You can hear me loud and clear. All right, good. Lots of comments coming in. Game Changer asks, am I in China? No, I am certainly not in China today. I don't have any plans to go in there anytime soon. All Spirits Are Coming asks, what is AMA? That's Ask Me Anything. That's a term that I think came from Reddit, where you can pretty much ask me anything in this stream, and I'm going to go ahead and answer your questions. So I'm going to keep a close eye on the chat here. And let me remind you, put big question marks beside it, because sometimes the chat window goes flying by and I miss people's questions, so I want to make sure I get to them all. Somebody says here, what do you think of the promotion of DMT and the counterculture CIA PSYOP, says the Free Captives? Well, I'm not necessarily someone who's in favor of promoting the use of DMT. Full disclosure, I have experimented with it myself in the past, and it's not something that I regret, but it's not something I would ever do again, and it's not something I necessarily would encourage others to do for a number of reasons. I feel that it is potentially that's something very dangerous to do. So it's not something I would promote, and I would indeed agree. There's most certainly a connection to the CIA. I mean, we know they're connected to the cocaine running operations, and they're largely responsible for putting, crack on the streets and stuff like that. So would not be surprised if they're involved in the engineering of DMT, or at least spreading it. Jose says, how dare you, telling the truth. A node to our good friend Greta How Dare You Thunberg, who I've been exposing as the shill that she is, being used as a puppet by her handlers. That seems very obvious to me. What is the current recreational situation in Squamish and Vancouver? Recreational, are you referring to the current cannabis situation? Cannabis has been legalized, I always say using the quotations, because really it's just been the monopolistic takeover of an entire industry. And yes, they have introduced recreational cannabis, but it's absolute crap. Let's just say that. If you're going to be purchasing cannabis from the government, you are getting radiated garbage where they have actually reduced the medicinal benefits of the plant. So sure, there's a recreational market now in Canada, but is it any good? Is it worthwhile? No. And it's undermining all the mom and pop shops who have developed these strains for particular ailments. You see, people who are suffering from different diseases or, different issues, insomnia or pain, they've honed in on what strains work for them, and that's why they go to medicinal facilities to get that cannabis. Well, the government is just kind of saying, there is no medicinal benefits to the plant, and they're just getting in on the recreational market. It just goes to show they don't really care about the people. They really just care about cashing in on this thing and figuring out how to monopolize the industry, wiping out the mom and pops all along the way, and emerging as the only possible source for cannabis in Canada. And really, as I said, it's a massive monopolistic takeover that we need to speak out against and continue to reject. So thank you for the question. Gnostic says video is a little bit choppy, but audio is good. Okay. Well, that's good. As long as you can hear me. If the video gets too choppy, it might be a little annoying, and we might have to call it. Tracy says, hello from Fraser Valley, BC. Somebody says, I know they're popular in Germany. Is it possible to export them to Canada? Not sure what you're talking about there. Evan George says, yes, cannabis, of course. Steve Jones, hey, brother. Where's Wendy? Says it's buffering, still buffering. All right. It looks to me on my end that the stream is good. It says we have a good quality stream now. So hopefully I'm not still buffering. But if it is, guys, let me know. If it's too choppy, we may have to call it. Still buffering. 30 seconds so far. Wow. 720p is fine. So yeah, guys, maybe you want to switch the quality to 720p or maybe even less. Rika, the hopeful voluntarist, says the feed is fine on her end. That's good. So we'll just keep going here. In case you're wondering what this little white blob here is on the side of me, this is one of my bestest little buddies. He goes by 420 Tony because he was born on April 20th, 420. And yeah, he's our little Maltese guy. He's the cutest little guy ever. So yeah, you may see him walking around every now and then. By the way, guys, you may notice I no longer have the super chat options. You used to be able to chip in a couple bucks here and there, but I have been completely demonetized by Google and YouTube. So if you want to do that, now you have to do it outside of Google's control, which is good. We don't really want them getting a share of your donation money anyways. So if you do want to do that, there are links in the description to where you can contribute with Patreon or the Patreon alternative, I think, are the top links that I have. Eugene Fraser says, that's a really nice dog, Dan. Yes, thank you. We love 420 Tony. He's our second dog. I have another one. He's around here somewhere. Maybe we'll get him in on the stream a little bit later. Somebody says, whatever happened to your buddy's shop that got busted and shut down in Squamish? It is still down. So, do you believe Q is a psyop or is it legit? Good question coming from Sarah. I gotta say, I have looked into it, and from what I can tell, it's a bunch of nonsense. It's a total psyop. I really dislike these faceless movements that speak in riddles, and has been proven to have made countless predictions that have not come true. And of course, if you throw out 100, questionable predictions and one or two of them come true, everybody jumps all over it and says it's a proof that it's Trump or somebody on the inside trying to take down the deep state. I'm not buying it, guys. I would not be surprised if it's quite literally just a 4chan, guy having some fun trolling people, or something a little more sinister is possible too. This could be, a military-operated psychological operation, but I'm not really buying that it's an insider leaking information through riddles so that we can hopefully figure out what's going on. That's just my thoughts on the matter. Richard Thomas says, what's going on with the coronavirus in Canada and China? Have they been stealing from Canadians again? Well, there's an interesting article that was going out from Zero Hedge not long ago, just a few days ago, that claimed that, yes, the coronavirus was stolen from a Canadian lab, I believe in Edmonton, back in 2012 or 2014. Don't quote me on that, but it is alleged that this virus was stolen by a Chinese infiltrator who managed to get into the lab in Canada and steal the virus to use it as a bioweapon. Now, none of this is necessarily confirmed right now, but it's not something that should be taken off the table either. Whether or not this was engineered in a lab is still up for debate, and is still, quite frankly, a very good possibility that may be the case. A lot of people are starting to notice it doesn't appear to have been this wet market, this food market in Wuhan where they think the virus originated from. Well, now there's questions about that. So I've been, my last couple of videos have pointed to some of Bill Gates' connections to these vaccine companies, the companies that are putting out the patents, the companies that are tied to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, some of the stocks in these pharmaceutical companies that are going through the roof. So I've kind of pinpointed who I think might be coming out on top in terms of this vaccine development race that is going on right now. But in terms of what's happening in Canada, we did just have 2 confirmed cases in Toronto and 1 presumptive case in British Columbia that I believe may now be confirmed as well. So yeah, it's really no surprise that something like this is making its way here. We've already seen it in a number of other countries now. I can't remember the latest, but it's pretty much made it everywhere, and I think it's safe to say that Wuhan is ground zero, and we do know that a couple of years ago they did set up a lab where they were going to research the world's most dangerous pathogens, and coronavirus was one of the things they were studying in this lab. So is it likely this was leaked by accident or perhaps released on purpose? Absolutely, that's still a possibility. Let me just scroll back and make sure I haven't missed anything. Beyond the Bat Burger, says JP. Winnipeg is receiving all the tests for final analysis of the virus, says Drum Spirit. Chinese population control, says Mikey Jennings. A lot of reports are saying they're underreporting the actual seriousness of the case, and it's quite possibly that that's true, because we do know that that's what happened back during the SARS outbreak. They flat out lied to the World Health Organization inspectors. And, I made the point in my video the other day, when you're lying about something to the WHO inspectors, well, that's usually because you have something to hide. And when it comes to deadly viruses, we need to start looking into what could they possibly have been hiding. Was it the fact that there were more cases than they said there were? Or, again, is it something a little more sinister? Was it, stolen from an Edmonton lab and brought into China, developed? A lot of people point to the similarities of a lot of these Hollywood movies like Contagion and Outbreak and, 12 Monkeys and all these things, where they've kind of put it in the public's mind that it is possible that people develop bioweapons, have the weapon, have the vaccine for the weapon before they release it onto the general public. Problem, reaction, solution, your classic order out of chaos scenario where they can not only cripple any country in the world, bring it to their knees, but also make billions and billions of dollars off of the cure that they've already developed. So this is something that is a very real possibility. A lot of times why they put these things out in the open in Hollywood movies is to kind of hide things in plain sight, so that when people like myself say these things, they're like, oh, you've been watching too many movies. That sounds like something out of a Hollywood plot or something. It's like, well, yeah, it's not that far off from some of these movies, what actually may be going on here. All right, see if we got any more. Simpsons predicted the virus, says Truthers Land. Yeah, there's a whole thing going on. I think there's a site dedicated to showing all the times that the Simpsons have said something, and then it turned out to be exactly the case later on. Pretty interesting. Bill Gates just put a show on Netflix called Pandemic, says Jacques Leslie. Yeah, I saw that somewhere today. I didn't click on the headline, but I read that as well. Okay. I read an article that the virus was brought to Winnipeg from a Dutch lab in 2003. Is this fact, says Plaidstock Canadian. I haven't heard that, so I can't confirm whether or not that's fact or not. But it's certainly not out of the realm of possibilities here. I think at this stage in the game, it's still early. We have to look at everything, all the possibilities, really. And certainly not to just take it from the mainstream media. So, yeah, that's the first time I'm hearing about that one. Plaidstock Canadian. But definitely worth looking into. All right, let's see what else we have. Jewel Hunter says, I believe that the virus was released on purpose. The Chinese were getting too powerful. What a way to bring down an economy without firing a shot. This will devastate China. Yeah, it is quite possible that it was used against the Chinese or by the Chinese themselves. Your classic inside job. I mean, let's face it, nobody's talking about the Hong Kong protests anymore. That was huge news. Do you guys remember how many people in China were protesting the government and all the censorship and everything going on there? Well, that's disappeared from the news cycle quite conveniently. So, the Chinese do actually have things to gain and to benefit from this. Now, whether or not it could have been done to them or done by them is still something we're going to continue to look into. Free the Captive says U.S. patent for live attenuated coronavirus patent number 7452542. Not sure if that's the one you might be referring to that was done back in 2015. I did look at that. There's some interesting things about that patent for a vaccine on a different coronavirus, not the current mutation that we see today. So the vaccines that are in development currently right now are by a few other companies. There was something called CEPI, C-E-P-I, who's funded by Bill Gates, who began funding 3 different pharmaceutical companies, 2 companies and 1 university, essentially kind of kicking off the race for the vaccine. And as I pointed out in the video the other day, Inovio pharmaceutical stock was through the roof, an unprecedented 10% up at the time of the video that I checked it. So seems to me, if you follow the money, they're the ones who are getting the contract and are probably going to come out on top when it comes to the vaccine. Bill Gates said that on a TED Talk. Oh, interesting. People have pointed that out to me, this TED Talk where I still have to watch this, where he apparently gets into eugenics and discusses population control and things like that. I mean, obviously, those are some pretty major revelations if he indeed is going around talking about those things in a positive light. while he is funding companies to develop these vaccines. All right, let me scroll back a little bit. Phil says, I don't know what gives Bill Gates the right to even be meddling with vaccines. We need to get the population around 0%. Bill Gates on TED Talk says, free the captives. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to watch that. If you guys find a link to that, please put it in the comment section here so we can all check it out. Vaccines are more dangerous than we think, says Baron777. Yeah, for sure. That's not to say that all vaccines are bad, but for the most part, I certainly don't trust any of them at this stage in the game. Magical Hoof says 5G is deployed and running in Wuhan. This is why the people became susceptible to the coronavirus. I have heard that as well. That's an interesting theory. Again, all things have to be considered on the table here, because let's face it, yeah, 5G is an experimental process where we're essentially being used as guinea pigs, and we don't really know the short-term effects and long-term effects that are going to come of that. Not long ago, I did a video with a friend of mine, Curtis Stone, called How to 5G Proof Your Home. That might be one you might be interested in, where he used this radio frequency resistant paint that he painted the walls of his house with. He also lined the ceiling with this thing, and he can't even get a cell phone signal inside his home anymore. He's completely 5G proofed his home. Really, really interesting stuff. If you want to see the kind of materials he used and where you can get them, if you want to do something similar yourself, just check that video out on my channel. I think I called it How to 5G Proof Your Home, or something like that, and if you just search that, you'll find it. It's pretty wild. Seeing videos of healthy people being taken forcefully by ambulance to full hospitals looks like dissident removal, says Living Purgatory. Yeah, I've seen that too. I've seen a lot of videos. People being shoved violently into vans, people just falling over face first and smashing on the ground, bodies strewn about in hospitals. Not a lot of this has been confirmed, but again, it doesn't necessarily mean it's untrue. But I've been, hesitant to share these things as fact, because a lot of it's unconfirmed. Sometimes you'll see these videos and it turns out, well, that was a clip from a hospital back in 2011 in some other country, or something like that. But it doesn't mean to say that it's not true. The videos of the people falling is weird as well. I mean, have you guys noticed that in all of these videos, there's always people in hazmat suits around that are pretty quick to follow up, and you'll see somebody fall flat on their face, and then somebody in a hazmat suit walks up to them. It's kind of strange. There's other videos of apparently, the people being quarantined in these boxes that they're on wheels, moving around in the airport and stuff. It's really tough to say at this stage how much of this stuff has been confirmed. So I haven't really posted any of those videos just yet, but we need to look into the source of those, because, again, if those are true, bodies in the hospitals, people falling over, obviously things are way worse than we're being told. Free the Captive says, what about Luke Radowski and David Icke promoting DMT? Shouldn't they be called out on it? At Press for Truth, as a Christian, wouldn't you say it's demonic? Please help me call this crap out. Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I do think it's taps you into the spirit world, and there's potential for demonic entities to use this as a vehicle for entrance, basically. And that's why I said earlier it's dangerous, because you're dabbling in the spirit world. Now, I don't know the extent to which Luke promotes this or David Icke promotes this. I didn't know that they promote it. I remember Adam Kokesh promoting it a number of years back, shooting videos of himself on YouTube. smoking DMT and promoting it. And I was at the time, very troubled by that as well, because it's encouraging, dabbling with the spiritual forces. And I know a lot of people are going to think I'm crazy for saying so, but I don't care. This is based on my own personal experience, what I've come to understand about it, and yeah. So yeah, I do think it's bad and shouldn't be promoted. Free Captive says, please watch my videos. We Are Changed Exposed 1, 2, and 3. Interesting. Well, look, Luke is a good friend of mine. I'm going to be seeing him in 2 weeks from now. I'm heading to Acapulco in 2 weeks from now to meet up with Luke and a bunch of others. I'm going to be speaking at a conference there. So maybe I'll talk to him a little bit about DMT and just figure out exactly his views on it. But yeah, I'll talk to him in 2 weeks about it. All right. Chris says Trump is a puppet of Israel. Yes, I've made a lot of videos on Trump's ties to Israel and the fact that he is indeed a puppet. I mean, at this stage in the game of the false left-right paradigm, a guy like Trump just doesn't come along and defeat the system that they have set up here. He didn't manage to find a way to get around this false left-right paradigm system that's been designed over decades and decades, probably going back to JFK. Every president since him has been handpicked. So listen, like, if he's in there, it's because they want him in there. That doesn't necessarily mean he knows he's a puppet or that he knows he's being used by the powers that ought not to be. How much of this he's aware of, I don't know. But I just happen to think if he's in there today, it's because they want him to be in there today. Just look at the, just how divided America is today. It's the divide and conquer tactic. You divide them so you can conquer them, so that you can say, can't we all just get along and join together again into one big happy family, one big global government, one giant new world order? That's the plan. And it's no different if it's from Bush to Obama to Trump to whoever's going to be in there next. The agenda continues, and it has been continuing, and it's been pushing forward for more than 100 years. You can track this back actually thousands of years, quite technically, and it's still continuing today. So it really doesn't matter what puppet is in there. Links are blocked in live chats, says Donna. Oh, that's not good. I'm not sure how to turn that on right now, or if I've accidentally blocked it or something. But I thought you could share links, but maybe you can't. I'll have to check my settings when I'm not live so we can do that. But maybe you can just type it in and leave a space between the .com or something. Get around it that way. Do you think Canada will ever emerge from the woke cesspool? You know what? Man, things are getting bad here in Canada, guys. So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be able to turn things around. I mean, when you have a feminist, trans rights activist who infiltrated the Canadian political system and managed to work his way all the way up to the Prime Minister, we've got some serious issues. When we have guys like Jessica Wax My Balls or Else Yaniv going to the courts, using the Canadian courts to abuse other people, we have a serious problem. He was dismissed of his earlier cases that he took against the beauty salon people who refused to wax him, but now he's trying to do it again to some other beauty salon people. So this guy's fight isn't over here. So yeah, it's not looking good here in Canada. We got the case of this father in BC who's not allowed to refer to his own 14, 15-year-old now daughter as a she. He's not allowed to call her by the birth name that he gave her as a child. When he did refer to her as a she once, the courts found him guilty and had him arrested under something called family violence. this is how bad it's getting here in Canada. And again, this is what happens when a feminist trans activist becomes the prime minister of the country. So no, I don't think it's going to be getting any better anytime soon. And this is why I continue to speak out against these things. You know, I was supposed to go to an event today that was just canceled at UBC, University of British Columbia, and I think they were going to hold it there, and then they were going to move it to Robson Square, but it was Andy, I don't know how you pronounce his name, Andy NGO. He was the guy who was attacked by Antifa in Portland. You may recall he had some milkshakes thrown at them, but they had bricks inside of them, and he was left completely bloodied. He was supposed to be speaking in Vancouver today, but the event got canceled, and so unfortunately, that's the video I was going to be shooting for you today, guys. Live, most likely, was going to be in downtown Vancouver covering an Antifa event. But UBC canceled the event. And in fact, the free speech, the free thought, or free speech, what are they called? The free speech school, the guys who were putting it on are suing UBC now because of the censorship around this cancellation. So I actually reached out to him today. I asked him for an interview. Maybe I'll get an interview with him later today to talk about that. But just goes to show you guys how crazy and quickly bad things are escalating here in Canada. Somebody, John here, says, how often do you play your guitar? Honestly, these days, not often enough. Just don't really have time to get into that anymore, which I really miss. I got to pick that thing up more often. The last time I did in a creative way was when James Corbett, if you're not familiar with him, check out corbettreport.com. James Corbett's my favorite YouTuber, one of the guys I enjoy watching the most, and we've been friends for over a decade. And when he quit Twitter, I got totally inspired, and I wrote a song on my acoustic called James Corbett is Not on Twitter. So if you want to see the last time I created anything musically, just use the search feature on my channel and type in James Corbett is Not on Twitter by Dan Dix, and it's a little ditty I wrote and sang and played on my guitar. So you may like that. Also, guys, if you didn't know, I am a musician. I did all the music for all 5 of my documentary films. Every sound you hear in all 5 of the documentary films was created by me, either on a guitar or keyboard or drums or whatever. And I scored all the films, and I put together a behind-the-scenes making of the soundtracks to all my films. So if you like the music in Into the Fire, or United We Fall, or The Turning Point, or any other documentary films I've made, check out my playlists for all the music that I've made, and I have behind the scenes on the making of the soundtracks. That if you guys are into music and you didn't know that I scored the music for all 5 of my films, check those out. I think you hopefully might enjoy it. Rika the Hopeful Voluntaria says it's a good little ditty. Thank you. A lot of people tell me they get it stuck in their heads. The chorus there, James Corbett is not on Twitter, gets stuck in their heads. Donna Daly says, I hope you do more live chats, Dan. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. I do agree. I got to do it more. Maybe I should do it more at a specific time, once a week or a few times a week. That way you guys can know exactly when to tune in. If that's something you think is a decent idea I should look into, let me know in the comment section below if you want to see these more regularly and know exactly when you can tune in. Might not be a bad idea. Riley Rage says, support indie music. Heck yes, support indie music. Go give a thumbs up on my playlist for all my music and leave me a few comments there. Let me know what you think of my tunes. Alright, let me scroll back because I've been talking for a little while. Make sure I didn't miss anybody's important questions. Corbett report is excellent, says Plaidstock Canadian. Yes, he is. I'm going to be seeing him as well in a couple of weeks. On February 12th, I'm heading to Acapulco, Mexico. I'm going to be speaking at a conference there, and James Corbett's going to be there. Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media is going to be there. Luke Radowski, We Are Changed, is going to be there. A lot of really cool and interesting speakers are going to be there. I take to the main stage on February 16th at 3 o'clock. I think they might even be live broadcasting the talks, so you can actually catch my my presentation there in a couple weeks. If you go to anarchapulco.com, I think you can find links to where you can watch all the presentations live. I do believe. Yeah, Larkin Rose is going to be there, somebody also said. Chris says, get some Bitcoin into your portfolio. Not sure if you're saying I should or if the people in the chat should, but I definitely have a little bit of Bitcoin in my portfolio. I think it's a good idea to diversify your portfolio. You can't have all your eggs in one basket, and it's really not a bad idea to do that. All right, how are we doing on the thumbs up on this video? I can't even see. We got 174 people watching, and I'm going to guess probably not that many thumbs up. So guys, click that thumbs up button right now. Stop what you're doing. Click the thumbs up button. Let's see that number go up. Again, YouTube's algorithms are designed to stop this type of information from being seen. So it really does help when you hit the thumbs up button, you share the link, you leave comments. Yes, please do. Click the thumbs up button right now, guys. Peace of Mind says Freeway Ricky Ross is going to be there. Yes, he is. Interesting guy. I interviewed him a while back at another conference we were both at. Yeah, interesting dude. I'm going to be speaking on a panel as well with Ben Swan and Luke and Josh. We're on an independent alternative media panel talking about just the censorship that we're all under these days, and how YouTube is really clamping down on a lot of us who bring you this kind of information. So I really don't know how much longer I'm going to be on this channel, you know, on this platform. But that's why I'm not only diversifying my assets, but I'm diversifying my video sharing platforms as well, guys. Really, it's really imperative and crucial that you subscribe to me on BitChute. If you're not on BitChute yet, go there, bitchute.com. bitchute.com/pressfortruth is where you can find another channel. I've been uploading every day for years there. And I'm on a lot of these, minds.com/pressfortruth, bitchute.com/pressfortruth, float, flote.app/pressfortruth, pocketnet.app/pressfortruth. These are all these other platforms that I've been sharing to because I know my days are numbered here at YouTube. They're going to pull the plug any day now, really. You're going to log in here to watch some Press for Truth videos, and you're going to be like, what the heck? Where's Dan? What happened to the channel? Well, I want you guys to be able to continue to see my videos because I'm not going to stop producing videos just because YouTube terminates my channel. I'm just going to be producing them elsewhere. And, you know, BitChute, Minds, DTube, Steemit, Float, PocketNet, these are just a few of the alternative platforms that I'm now currently on. So yeah, please be sure to check all those out. Links should be located in the description below. All right, let's see if we get any more questions. I just got a response from the UBC guy. He's agreeing to do the interview. Okay, so that's good. Maybe I'll get that later today and have that up for you for tonight or tomorrow. Let me scroll back here a little bit. We got some more Q questions. Somebody's asking me about Q again. We've already talked about Q in this one, guys. Go back in the video if you want to see my thoughts on that. Long story short, I believe it's a psyop, but go on back in the video if you want to check it out. When can we see your guitar skills? Says Peace of Mind. Again, go to my YouTube channel and look up my playlists. I have a music playlist, which has all the songs I did for all my films right there in a playlist. You can go check it out. Have you archived all your work? Good question. Yes, I have. I have a couple of external hard drives with every video I've ever done, in safekeeping. Yeah, absolutely. That's an important thing we have to do. Because it's a lot of work, that I don't want to just disappear if they decide to shut this channel down. Isn't it funny? I've got over 250,000 subscribers and we only get less than 200 people watching. I think it's safe to say the shadow banning is pretty thick on this channel. I mean, I know people who only have a couple thousand subscribers and they still get 1,000 people tuning in on their live streams. Or people who have 50 or 60,000 subscribers and they get thousands of people watching their live streams. I've got over 250,000 subscribers and what do we have here? Less than 200 people. Yeah, I think it's safe to say the shadow banning is pretty thick. Somebody says, I can't believe all the immoral and immature people commenting on Corbett's pot video. I could spend hours and hours ranting to all those people there. I'm not sure about this pot video. I haven't seen it. I don't know if this is a recent one, but if he just made a video recently about cannabis, I would certainly love to check it out and see what his views are on it. LG says, make the live stream AMA a daily thing. It's possible. It's not necessarily a terrible idea. I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you want this to be a daily, regular occurrence? Just maybe for like an hour a day or something? All right. We've been going for almost 45 minutes. If we don't get too many more questions in, we may call it for the day. My stream seems to be still a little bit choppy. That's just because of the internet I have here. Sounds great. Some people say yes, daily stream. TM Fowl says no notifications. Yeah, that's no surprise. You might have to click the bell, get all notifications. Sure, says Richard. Yes, says Raymond. Yes, says Matt. Hell yeah, says Truthers Land. Golden Sim says only if there is actual information. What, you don't want to just small chat stuff and just chat with me? Did I not provide any information today? I thought I did, a little bit at least. How about a weekly live stream? At the very least, John, I think that's a pretty good idea. Yeah, we can go once a week at the same time, so maybe you guys can know when to tune in. Kimmy Alberta says it's too choppy. There are ways that I might be able to get around that. Sometimes if I do these live streams on my on my iPhone, it's less choppy than if I do it on my laptop. So if I do this a little bit more regularly, maybe I'll try to do it on the phone. Once a week is plenty. Yeah, I think so too. Once a day might be a little bit much, but once a week sounds like it's probably a good idea. Just joined, and I'll have to rewatch this later. Says Doomingual. T. Taylor says, I've seen cannabis do amazing things for all sorts of medical issues. You might want to do more research, Cindy Bin. Yes, I agree. You may want to do some more research. Cannabis is a remarkable plant that is helping so many people on the medicinal front. It's just incredible. Play us a song, please. Oh, I don't know if you want to hear that. I don't even know if that thing is in tune right now. I haven't played it in a couple of in a couple of weeks. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that at the end of the broadcast. If you're anti-cannabis, then don't ingest it. Easy. Leave other people alone, says Rika the hopeful voluntarist. Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, most people in Canada are okay with cannabis, and even the people who aren't don't have a problem with other people using cannabis, which is, I think, smart way to go about it. But yeah, I'd have to agree with you. If you have a problem with it, don't smoke it. Don't really worry about what other people are doing so much, especially when it's something that's not harming them in any way. Hasn't killed a single person in the history of cannabis use. No one has ever died from it. You can't possibly overdose from it. As Voice in the Void there says, all cannabis use is medicinal. Yeah, whether you like it or not, all of it is medicinal. You may be using it recreationally, but not realizing that you're actually gaining some medicinal benefits from the plant, whether you like it or not. Frazzled Holaz says, I don't have a problem with medical cannabis. Recreational use, that can become a problem. But I could be careless if you or anyone else uses it. Yeah, I mean, cannabis use only becomes a problem if you are, a slave to it or somehow addicted to it. I mean, it's not physical. It's not physically addictive. It's more of a mental addiction. I have smoked cannabis daily for almost 20 years, and last year I quit for 3 months. I decided I wanted to quit for 90 days, just to see how I would feel. And really, the only physical, what would you call it, reactions I got was, having difficulty sleeping, and that only lasted maybe a week and a half or so. So it was only like, the first 10 days or so I had difficulty sleeping, but after that I was totally fine, and it was not an issue whatsoever. Acoustic guitar sounds awesome, in tune or not. My son plays. I love hearing it, even when just goofing around. Actually, I have another one that might be a little more in tune. Let me see. Okay, you guys have convinced me. You've talked me into it. Let me switch over to this camera for a quick sec. Let's see. This is the one I wrote for James, where it's like... It's hard to play in this position. Whoops. Anyways, that's just a little bit of the guitar riff from my pretty little ditty called James Corbett is Not on Twitter. And I just totally butchered that for you because that's live. That's live for you. But anyways, that's just a little tiny taste. All right, let's see what you guys have to say about that. Tune up, bro, says Shady Burn. I know. I told you it was going to be out of tune, but I don't want to have you sit here going through me tuning that. Yes, I know it's flat, Kyle. But if you did like that little ditty, go type in James Corbett is Not on Twitter by Dan Dix. When you're done this video, go type in James Corbett is Not on Twitter by Dan Dix, and you'll see that song in its full entirety. I wrote it in the course of an evening. James Corbett quit Twitter. I got really inspired by that, and I came up with that tune, and I recorded it the very following day. And he was quite impressed with the fast turnaround. He commented on the video saying, "This is the best thing that has ever happened on the internet ever." So he liked it. Anyways, guys, I think I may call it for today. We're going on just about an hour now. And the gentleman putting on that event at UBC has responded to me, and he's agreed to the interview, so I might be able to do that right now. So let me maybe call it for today. Unless you guys got any other questions, but I think that might be it for today. Rika says, "Wow, the hour flew by." I know. If I do these once a week, maybe I'll have to do it like, Rogan style or whatever. Go like 3 hours minimum every time or something. Because you're right, an hour is not a very long time, and a lot of people don't tune in right away. They don't figure out I'm live until halfway through the broadcast. So, are you at Anarchapulco? I am not right now, but I will be. I will be heading there in a couple of weeks. So yeah, you can if you want to go. If you haven't gotten tickets yet, you can actually save 10% on your ticket if you use promo code PFT. So if you're going, please do that. A channel called It's All Fake is asking me about Kobe Bryant. Let me guess, you think the death was faked? Yeah, crazy news about what happened to Kobe Bryant. Really, all I have to say about that is it makes you realize how precious life is. If you have loved ones out there who you haven't, told them you love them in a little while, you might want to do that because, tomorrow is not guaranteed, guys. It's not guaranteed for you or for me or for anybody. You might not be here tomorrow. That's what events like that make me realize just how precious life is. So It's All Fake says possibly. Sure, anything's possible. At this day and age, I wouldn't fully discount it, but as I see it today, it seems to me that indeed was a very real event, a very sad and tragic event. Twice a week, unless there's an issue like the virus. Okay, all right. I think there's a general consensus. People want to see more, maybe more of the live streams, a regular live stream. Unscripted Virtuoso, you are awesome. Thank you for your time and effort. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Guys, if you do appreciate my efforts on this channel, please check the links in the description to find out how you can donate. We have a Patreon account. If you're on Patreon and you have supporting a few, if you're a patron to a couple other people, join mine as well. Patreon.com/pressfortruth. If you don't like Patreon, I have a Subscribe Star as well. You can go to subscribestar.com/pressfortruth. We also have, you can donate one-time donation via PayPal. This is all available at pressfortruth.ca/donate. So as you can see, guys, you can't give any super chats anymore on this channel. There are not going to be any ads playing on this channel because this channel is no longer monetized. They're not going to allow me to earn a single penny of revenue off of this channel. But that's fine. I don't want to rely on Google money anyways, and you guys shouldn't have a percentage of your donations going to them anyways. Maverick says, make sure to enable Super Chat for your next live stream. No, I can't. I've been demonetized, Maverick. I used to be able to have live chats all the time, but I've been completely demonetized this channel. I am no longer allowed to generate any kind of revenue off of this channel. It's a message I got from YouTube late last year, and they cut me off. It was in the midst of the Vox adpocalypse when Steven Crowder was completely demonetized because of a spat he had with this Vox journalist. And And I somehow got caught up in the middle of that, and my channel was also 100% demonetized, just like Steven Crowder's was. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't get the super chats. That's why I'm telling you, go to the link in the description. If you want to contribute via super chat, YouTube has made that no longer possible for me. So if you do want to contribute, I highly appreciate it. Check the links in the description to find out how you can do that. LG says post a PayPal link. A PayPal link is posted. It's right in the description here. Let me just copy it right now and put it in the chat if I can. Let's see if they'll let me post a link. So there it is. I just put it in the link for you. Thank you so much to anybody who does contribute to that link. Your support is very, very greatly appreciated. Let me scroll back a bit. See what else I got. Got bumper stickers? Yes, I do. I do have Press for Truth bumper stickers. If you go to pressfortruth.ca, you'll see our shop. Go to the store. You'll find all the stickers. Yeah, check them out. I love seeing Press for Truth bumper stickers on people's cars. I've seen it a few times driving around in Squamish. I'm like, hey, look at that. It's awesome. So yeah, please grab some of those if you like my work and want to support me in that way. Antonio Kinsley said PayPal, Patreon, and others are all loony left censored. Best avoided. Yes, this is why I set up a Subscribestar account, and I also created a Patreon alternative, it's called, on pressfortruth.ca/donate, where you can do the same things that you can on Patreon. You sign up for a monthly reoccurring amount, but it doesn't go through Patreon. It just goes directly to me. Longtime fan, thanks for everything, Dan. Love from Australia. Thank you so much, Amanda, for tuning in. I think the general consensus in today's video is that we're going to be doing these a little bit more often, maybe doing a live stream once a week or so. Angela says, I will be donating. Thank you so much. It's really, really greatly appreciated, especially in this time of shadow banning and censorship and demonetization from Google. It's really, really appreciated that, you know, I'm getting the support directly from you guys, the viewers. That's who I want to be beholden to, not Google. So this is a far better relationship to be in. I love your work, says Jerry. Thanks so much. They certainly dislike you at YouTurd, as I am getting buffers and pauses. I can't, but faster internet. Yeah, sorry about the buffering. It's not the greatest connection I have today. Next time I may do this on my iPhone, so we have a better connection. Love the wedding pic behind you, says Amy. Thank you so much. Yes, I recently got married to my now wife in September of 2019. What other platforms are you on, Dan? I'm on a lot of them. In the description right now, you will see links to Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Steemit, Minds, BitChute, BitTube, Gab, MeWe. I'm on so many of these I start forgetting about them, but definitely follow me on bitchute.com/pressfortruth, float.app, flote.app, pocketnet.app, minds.com. If you search Press for Truth on all these platforms, you'll find me, or just check the links in the description to this video, and you'll find me on all these alternative platforms. I see we have an interesting discussion going on about the differences between medicinal and recreational cannabis. But yeah, as we said before, it's all medicinal, whether you like it or not. Rika says she forgot about Minds anymore. Whoops. Yeah, Minds.com is a cool platform. I know the guy who made it. Good guy. You know, any one of these platforms could potentially take off and be the next big thing. So I've kind of diversified into all of them and kind of building a base at all of them. And I've been on BitChute for a couple of years now. So I'd strongly recommend going over there. I think I have around 8,000 subscribers there now, which is not too bad, but, you know, I need 200,000, 250,000 of you guys to start migrating your way on over to BitChute, because I'm going to be uploading there every day, just as I do here on YouTube. And I might disappear from YouTube, but it's more likely I'll remain there on BitChute for quite some time. Hi Dan, thanks for the content. Great stuff. Thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. I see Cindy's getting into a little bit of a heated discussion about cannabis use in the comments section. Somebody called Nug Demolisher says Cindy needs to smoke. Pot smokers always suggest I smoke a joint, just like booze drinkers tell me to have a drink, she says. Well, might not be a bad idea, Cindy. You gotta kind of know what you're talking about, right? Alright guys, we've reached the 1 hour mark. I think I may call it for the day. I'm going to see if I can go do an interview now for a video later today. So, thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I think I will look to making this a little bit more of a regular thing, maybe once a week. If you like that idea, click the thumbs up button. Even if you don't like the idea, please click the thumbs up button. Again, it helps with YouTube's algorithms that are designed to stop these videos from being seen. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to say goodbye. Do you want one last goodbye from 420 Tony, this cute little guy? Let me get my camera. Aw, sorry to wake you. Sorry to wake you for the show, pal. Oh, I know, you were nice and comfy. Yeah, this is our bestest little buddy. Look at him rocking his little bow tie. Isn't he super cute? I always get my dogs in the videos at the end of the live streams. And here's the other one. Oh, this one's Kaiser Sose. He's our Havanese. His hair's getting a little shaggy now, so it's hard to see him. But there he is. He's our favorite little guy too. So this is Kaiser, the Havanese, and this is Tony here, the Maltese. Bestest little buds in the world. Alright guys, that's it. Kaiser says goodbye. I say goodbye. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you again very, very shortly. Take care. Love you all. Peace.